What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. I don't know about you, but in the beginning of the year, I turn over a new leaf and it's a lot of reflection and it's almost like hitting the reset button. And I'm so excited to be here with you today. So I wanted to hop on and let you guys know what I've been up to. And I hope that you stick around until the end. So if you're jumping on live, let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you're catching the replay, go ahead and give me a replay below so I can circle back and say what's up. So I want to start off by saying I love hearing from every single one of you, your text messages, your direct messages, the phone calls. They all mean so much to me. So keep them coming. And if you guys have any questions about anything, you know I'm your girl, and let's dive right in. So I've gotten so many questions about what it is that I've been up to and why it is that I changed the course of my career. So I figured I'd hop on live and talk to you guys a little bit about what's been up in our lives. So most of you guys know that I've always been into health and wellness, right? And since the birth of my son, I've taken more of a holistic approach to my life and my family's life. And when my husband watches this, I'm sure he's going to be like, yes, since the birth of my son, she definitely has. And I came across something a few months ago that I absolutely could not refuse. I loved my previous company. I loved the people that I worked with for so long, but I really had no hesitation in switching gears. And it's all about following your God-given strength, right? And I felt like, living a more holistic way was something that was very easy for me. And so when I found out about the CBD company, I just kind of fell in love with it because I loved their mission. I loved the company. I loved that it was founded in 2019, in February of 2019. And I loved that they wanted to improve my life, both mentally and physically, and all of those lives around me. And they're all about quality and transparency, which was so, so important to me. And what's really cool about our founders is that they really created this company with their family in mind. And now that I had a family, I could totally relate. They wanted to give CBD to their children, and they didn't feel comfortable just giving any CBD on the market to their kids. So they partnered with 6th-generation farmers. They grew their own organic hemp, and they came up with a really high quality product that they felt comfortable giving their kids. And so after that, they figured they would share it with physicians in the area in North Carolina. And then it just kind of grew from there because everyone wanted a piece of it. And so they realized that they could partner with people like you and me and really take it to the masses. And so that's why they ended up, taking it to a whole new level, and they went into direct sales. So speaking of quality and transparency, they have what is called a QR code. I'm sure you guys are familiar. QR code on the bottom of the bottle, every single batch, every single bottle, so you know exactly what's coming in your CBD. So we have certified organic farms, CO2 extraction methods. I didn't know like half of this information when I first started. I've learned a lot, and I think it's really, really cool. And please, don't buy your CBD from a gas station next to the Funyuns because it's probably not going to be a high quality product, right? Probably not. So for those of you that have been following my story, you probably know that even 6 months ago, like 9 months ago, I wasn't doing the best. And feeling the way that I feel now wasn't always the case. If you rewind and you have a conversation with me, 9 months ago, you would have found a really exhausted, stressed out mama who was battling postpartum depression and anxiety. And my days turned into nights, turned into days, and I just didn't know what the hell was going on. And everything just kind of seemed to pile on. If that, feeling you can relate with, give me one of those like hands up emojis because I felt like I was losing my shit. And, I ate a high protein nourishing diet. I made sure that I took time for myself. I would go out and walk, and I drank my red raspberry leaf tea, and I did everything that I possibly could. I made sure that I supplemented, but nothing seemed to be working. And at the end of the day, if we don't have our mental health, we don't have anything, right? And it was a really big gut check for me, and I decided to open up about it. And the response has been overwhelming, and I'm just so happy that I've been able to help so many of you kind of navigate your way through what I was feeling. So I know that a lot of us are dealing with stress and anxiety and depression and insomnia and brain fog, and you're just not feeling your best. And 2020 should be a year of regrowth. And, I posted recently about, a rebirth that I went through. And I just want that for every single one of you too. So if you can relate, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, because I'd love to help you feel your best as well. So what is CBD? I personally had no idea what the hell CBD was. I didn't even know what it stood for, to be honest. But it stands for cannabidiol, and we all have what is called an endocannabinoid system, or an ECS, and all mammals have it. So the endocannabinoid system is made up of a group of receptors which regulates all these different systems in our body. So anything from stress and mood and sleep and circadian rhythm, immune, inflammatory response, memory, fertility. I mean, I could go on and on. Bone health. It's pretty incredible, and basically all of these systems are working in place to make sure that we're living life balanced, in a balanced state or equilibrium. So as we're living and things happen and, environmental stressors are thrown at us and toxins and all of that, we're living in an unbalanced state, and the receptors aren't working at 100%. So what CBD does is it comes in and it attaches to those receptors, and it has those receptors start working at 100% again. So then we feel more balanced. So we're in a more balanced state, or the scientific terminology is called homeostasis. And as I had mentioned, all mammals have it. So, what works for humans also works for our beloved pets. So you can definitely give CBD to your dogs, your cats. I've even heard of rabbits. I mean, like literally any animal. And I wish I had access to this back when I was in college at Ohio State, because I had a little Yorkie at the time who had separation anxiety. And every time I would leave to go to class, she would freak out. And I wasn't supposed to have a dog. In fact, they tried kicking me out because I had a dog. But I wish I would have been able to give it to her, because she would have lived in a so much more peaceful state. So let's talk the cannabis plant. So for those of us that don't know, there are two different species. So there's the hemp plant, and then there's the marijuana plant. So the hemp plant is high in CBD and low in THC, and the marijuana plant is low in CBD and high in THC. So THC is what makes you feel high. CBD has no psychoactive properties in it, so it's not going to alter your state of mind whatsoever. It's legal. CBD is legal in all 50 states because it was passed in the Farm Bill back in 2018, which President Trump approved, and it removed all hemp products from the Controlled Substance Act. So it's legal in all 50 states. So for those of you that are questioning whether it's legal in your state, it is. And there are so many different ways that you can take CBD, right? Like, it gets a little confusing for people. Do you put it under your tongue? Do you put it in your coffee? Do you take a gummy? Do you vaporize it? So what our founders are dedicated to, and what they have found, is that, in order for it to be the most useful, you take it sublingually or under your tongue, and you let it sit there for 45 to 60 seconds. And that way you'll get the most absorption. And they want this to be absorbed in the body with the most benefit. So we know that taking it under your tongue is the way to go. So it'll be most effective that way. It's an antimicrobial, antibacterial, antiviral. The terpenes in it make it a really powerful antifungal. In fact, there have been scientific studies that say that it's just as powerful as a pharmaceutical antifungal, which I think is pretty amazing. It's been able to help with stress, anxiety, appetite, pain relief, inflammation, nausea, seizures, so much. So if you're wondering if CBD can help you, send me a message. I am happy to share some testimonials with you and let you know what the deal is behind it. So I feel like me personally, I'm able to focus more. I'm able to have more patience with Liam because God knows, I feel like every mama needs that. And all that stress and anxiety that I was dealing with disappeared. Honestly, it just completely disappeared. And I felt so grateful for that because it was difficult for a moment in time for me. It really was, I'm not gonna lie. And then as far as going to bed, like I couldn't sleep. And that was so frustrating. And I would sit there and I would put my head on the pillow and my mind would be racing and I couldn't fall asleep and I would just be thinking about the day and what I had to do the next day. And it was making me crazy. And now I know that I can go to bed, I can put my head on the pillow, and I don't have to worry about getting that anxious feeling and not being able to sleep. I know that I'm going to fall asleep, stay asleep, have a restful night's sleep, and that to me was worth everything. So really, the CBD is amazing for anyone that's looking to improve their health both mentally and physically. And, you know, from chronic pain to sleep issues, I'm your girl. So if you can relate to this, let me know. I'd love to hear your story. Please feel free to send me a message. You know, I always am an open book, as you guys know, and I'd love to be of service to you and help you feel better because 2020, I feel like we should all make a resolution to feel the best that we can. And honestly, when I saw the stats that 1 in 5 people suffer from depression, I was blown away. I mean, I'm a part of that statistic, but I feel like if we have the tools in place to help manage our stress, you know, you have the opportunity to see amazing results. And, you know, you have to be consistent with it, just like you have to be consistent with anything in life. But if you want more info, drop the word info below in the comments, and I'll be sure to circle back with you. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time.